2, 1. Welcome to the third podcast from the Sandcap Guide. Glad you could join us. We've got a couple of things we wanted to talk about today. We're going to talk about a couple of videos that we've done in the past. The first one is going to be the Sanibel Beauty Salon.
That's right.
And we did a very interesting interview with Marianne
Banta.
Who's
the present owner.
And the other one that we wanted to talk about was the four top stops on the island. So it's been a really popular video, and just 4 of the major places that you can go that are kind of different to anywhere else. So let's start off with the First of all, I'm Nick. This is
Laurie.
And that is
Max.
So we're basically going to start off with the Sanibel Beauty Salon. And tell us, Laurie, why don't you? How did that story come around?
So just through my research, discovering people that have been on the island for a very long time, and I came across the Sanibel Beauty Salon, which is in its 70th year of operation. It was actually started by a lady named Mary Banta. Oh no, that was not her name. Her name was Mary Alec, A-L-E-C-K. It was started by here. This was started by her before the causeway came across, and she started it, and now her daughter actually runs the salon. So we went to the salon, interviewed the daughter and her husband.
Is
Joe.
this her?
That was the lady. Yeah, that was Mary.
Was the original.
There's Mary Alec. And a little fun tidbit: if you go to Bailey's grocery store, which is at the top of Periwinkle Way, there's a tiny road called Alec's Alley. So look out for that.
Yeah, as you're facing it from Periwinkle, where you're facing the side of Bailey's general store, if you look to your left, there's an alley that goes behind the store. You can actually see the video playing now. And we got a call actually from one of Marianne's employees who reminded us that it was the 70th anniversary. Was it 70th?
Yeah.
And they were big in the Greek community when they moved down from... well, you can get the full story. Check it out. It's really interesting. She's a super fun lady. A lot of laughs. And
these are the current owners right here, right?
Yeah, that's the mom. That's Mary's back in the day. And then that's Mary Ann, her daughter, that you can see. That's Mary Ann right there. She's great. She's got the most infectious laugh. And her mom, Mary, was huge into shell collecting. So you can see some of Mary's shells there in the video. And I think she donated a lot of them. They were used in books talking about shells, and she's donated a lot of them.
And then Joe's a local fishing guide.
Right, out of Castaways
Marina up on Santiva. And so Marianne still runs the beauty salon today, and
it's in a different location than it actually used to be. It used to be where Bailey's general store is now. That's where Mary's original beauty salon was, and there was no water. She would capture water from cisterns, and they said when she first opened, she didn't have chairs or something, so her hair dryers weren't there or something, so the ladies would sit out on sawhorses to actually dry their hair outside.
Oh, there's so many interesting stories. She used to Vice President Pence frequents there and gets his hair cut when he visits Sanibel. So check out that video. It's super fun. They're a great couple and very interesting. A lot of interesting history about Sanibel back before the causeway, and just all sorts of fun stories about growing up on Sanibel and the history of the store. So definitely worth checking.
Yeah, I'll link that in the description.
Perfect.
For the video.
And then the other one we wanted to talk about was the 4 top stops on the island.
I don't think they're the 4 top stops on the island. We said that the 4 stops. That's hard to say.
4 top stops.
I just found that out.
4 stop stops.
4 top stops.
Right. We actually did a video about within a mile distance on the Sandcap Road, there are actually 4 stops that everybody that visits here should actually go and visit. And it's literally within 1 mile from the first stop to the last. And those are...
Sandcap.
Yep.
Yeah. So they are the Shell Museum. Right there, and then you've got Crow, which is the rehabilitation of wildlife, and then Ding Darling, and these are all unique to Sanibel. So
And they're all public or non-profits.
I think you could be right, Max.
Yeah, they're not private businesses, are they? They're just
no. And then you've got the Sanibel Captiva Conservation Foundation, and so the Shell Museum is the only nationally funded shell museum in the United States of America, and it's got and it's just been in the last couple of years they've had a whole new area added in downstairs in what used to be a basement area. Now there's a touch tank for kids, and there's all sorts of aquariums,
right? To see different.
Where you can see the mollusks and all the rest of it. They've got a whole section on mollusks, and
they actually have an octopus too. He's super cool.
Yeah,
I think it's a he.
Yeah, I didn't get to know him that well, but he was. Yeah, he's very cool.
Right. Nick actually got to go behind the scenes and film. They took you remember when you filmed that?
Yeah, we filmed it was quite interesting going behind the scenes and actually going in the top of the tank. And this octopus is quite a big deal, apparently. So we were trying to entice him out, but they're nocturnal, so it was kind of hard to get him out. But he was fleeting. But it's definitely it's one of those places, a great place to stop if it's raining. It's all indoors. So, definitely recommend that.
Yeah. But yeah, so all the Shell Museum, Crow, Ding Darling, and the SCCF, they each have something unique to offer to the visitor.
And Crow started by individuals, I think, that were rescuing animals on the island, and there wasn't really anywhere to take injured wildlife.
Yeah. So this lady actually just brought them into her home and started rehabbing them. Yeah. And then from that grew this amazing facility that we have today, where we have veterinarians on site, and they treat thousands of animals a year.
Mm-hmm. So it's turned into this massive ongoing thing. They have a lot of volunteers there.
Yeah.
They have interns. It's a really big concern, and they actually have a great website where you can follow where the types of animals that have been brought in, and they update you with the history, how they're progressing, if they're going to be released back to the wild or if they're going to a home. It's worth checking out their websites, and all the websites for these will have linked in the description below.
And Ding Darling, of course, is fabulous. It's a 4-mile track that you can either walk, bike, drive your car. The only thing to note, it is closed on Fridays, which a lot of people forget. The actual 4-mile, the 4-mile tract is closed, but there's a side trail called the Indigo Trail that's open, and then the actual visitor center is open 365 days a year.
Mm-hmm. But the Indigo Trail is walking. Yeah,
right. The Indigo Trail is walking.
It's right at the start of the entrance. The other one actually goes in a big loop and takes you out. I think it's 3.5 miles further down the Sandcap Road, and then you come back again. But it's a great thing to do. You get there, everybody in the car, drive through there. You never know what you're going to see. Sometimes it will be abundant with wildlife, and sometimes not so much. But you just need to look for different things. Sometimes it's obvious what's in front of you, and sometimes you can look for the smaller stuff.
Right.
Which is equally as interesting, but just a little bit harder.
And then it's interesting.
If you go to the library, you can get a bird watching kit and take it to the Ding Darling.
Right. And then also, if you pay your admission, then you can keep your ticket and you come back the rest of the day. So you could maybe come in the morning and then try again at night if you didn't see anything. And there's like little laybys where you can, if you're in your car, you can just pull over to the side wherever you want, really.
Absolutely first class wildlife photography spot if you're into filming. Or
you always see people out there with the big
giant cameras.
Right. Exactly.
Big long lenses.
And they're always happy to talk about the stuff they're seeing or share with you. And then there's docents too that they'll be dressed up and you can stop and talk to them too.
Yeah, we just did recently they had resident artist Rachel Pierce, who's a local, retired local news personality or a presenter, and she's started up her artwork full time, and she was doing art walks, which were super popular. I think
once a month she actually comes out and paints. She'll just set up her easel just beside one of the the waterways and paint whatever she sees, and then you can see her art in progress, and at the end of the season, I think she's going to sell the paintings that she created in Ding Darling to raise money.
Yeah, awesome. So women.
And we did a video on her, didn't we? We had an interview with her.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, that's on the YouTube channel. And then also the Sanibel Captiva Conservation Foundation, more often known as SCCF. Tell us a little bit about that, Laurie.
I think it's just going through a refurb at the minute, but there's trails behind the SCCF building that you can walk to. There's a tower that you can climb and see what's considered the Sanibel River now. I don't think it's actually a river. You can walk back there, see all kinds of neat wildlife and vegetation.
But basically it started to conserve the island.
Interior island.
Yeah. So wherever they've been buying up land for years and years and years, trying to protect it from development. And it's fascinating how much land they actually own now through donations and through fundraising and through
just acquisitions.
And they own a good portion of the non-developed land now. So it's great for future generations. It's going to be preserved forever. So
that's right.
They do a great job. So yeah,
and they have they not only have trails there, they have other trails throughout the island, like Pick Preserve, which we did, which is right across from the Sanibel Elementary School. You can go and visit that trail, but go on their website. I think it's sccf.org, and it lists all the other trails that they have. The Pond Apple Trail, I think, is one of theirs.
Yeah, the one opposite the school is particularly interesting just because we took our kids there to that school and never even saw it. And it's actually right opposite the entrance to the Sanibel school.
I've never been on it.
And yeah,
I went to school there.
You never.
Yeah.
And we didn't even notice it there, but it's actually quite interesting if you want to get into the interior of Sanibel and see what the real wilds of Sanibel are like.
All
definitely
right.
worth going back in there.
Bring your bug spray.
Bring your bug spray.
Yeah.
Oh,
Read our
yes.
No-See-Ums blog post before you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, what we got up next? Laurie? Laurie's... What
Been reading a book lately.
Yes.
So tell us what you're reading.
I am reading.
Reading this week.
It's called Jacob Summerlin, King of the Crackers. And where's Summerlin Road, Nick?
What's that?
Where's Summerlin Road?
Summerlin Road is the road that you're going to come to. You're going to come along Summerlin Road as you approach Sanibel Island. It's the approach road to Sanibel
Right. So
Island.
basically, the gateway to Sanibel is called Summerlin Road. It's actually the road that you travel on. You go through the causeway, toll booths, and then you're on the causeway. So that is called Summerlin Road, and is actually named after this man, Jacob Summerlin, and he was actually called the King of the Crackers. Do you know
So
why?
if you didn't know, Punta Rasa, which is the boat launch area right at the end of Summerlin, at the foot of the causeway, was a big place for ranchers to load their cattle onto boats and ships to be some sent to Cuba and sold all over the country. So it was a big ranching place where basically they would load up their cattle.
Right. So, and Jacob Summerlin owned the wharf at Punta Rasa and about 1,000 acres around Punta Rasa. So he would have cattle pens, and other cattlemen he would rent space to them to house their cattle. So he was born in 1820. So back then there were these cattle that were just roaming all over the wilds of Florida. So they were brought here by the Spanish. So these crackers, do you know why they're called crackers?
Because of their whips, was it?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I've heard, that they're called crackers because of their long whips. So the crackers would round up these wild cattle and drive them to these ports, and then they would be shipped to either Key West or Cuba. And then, so Jacob Summerlin amassed this huge fortune. He was, at the age of 40, they said he was one of the richest, wealthiest men in Florida. And this is pre-banking, so he didn't have anywhere to put his money. He had so much that he would just stuff it in socks and trunks and throw it in the corner, they said, even he would do with his money.
I hate when that happens.
Yeah, exactly.
Tough at the top.
It's very tough at the top. And he was instrumental in starting Orlando. There's actually a lake, a park in Orlando that he donated to the city, and he said that he would donate it to them only if they kept it beautiful, and they've done that to this day. It's called Lake Eola, which we've never been there.
No,
Not that I know.
No.
We'd have to check it out.
Yeah, but
for
let us
sure.
know if you've been to Lake Eola. That was actually donated by Jacob Summerlin in the 1800s, and it's still there to this day, which is amazing. Thinking of all the development that has gone on in
Mhm.
Orlando, they've kept it, and there's a big fountain in the middle, and around the outside there's walking paths and shops and things. So we'll have to go visit, and then
Yeah.
we're gonna have to go visit his grave in Bartow, Florida.
I'm not too fond
don't
of
know
that
if we're gonna
idea,
do
but
that.
No, I think you're overruled on that one.
I think we
Just
should.
it's just his headstone.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could
That's-
look that up online. I don't
It's
know.
2 hours drive for
2
just a
hours to-
headstone.
Well, it's
Yeah.
4 hours there and back. Yeah, there we
We'll
go.
find a here. I'll find a picture for you, and we'll put it up on the screen, and that'll be just enough.
I think we should pay homage to Jacob Summerlin for everything he's done for us.
Yeah.
Should we?
No, I think we're good.
Yeah, I think we're good.
Okay, so what we got? So if you're interested in that sort of thing, is it a good read, Laurie?
Yeah.
Worth a look.
Definitely worth a look. This is actually from the library, so I borrowed
Check it out.
Check it out from the library, or obviously they have it on Amazon. Not sure if the local bookshops, but definitely check out the local bookshops first. And then, yeah, I think it's pretty good.
All right,
Perfect.
awesome. So we had someone ask about the best bikes to ride around here. I know. Well, tell them about your guys' bikes that you use on the beach and stuff like that, and how you got around when we started the Sandcap Guide.
Well, we have fat tire bikes, the big fat tire bikes that you can ride on the beach. So there's a lot of misconceptions about riding on the beach. People say that you can't. Well, that's actually not true. You can ride on the beach. The rental companies
Your
don't.
personal bike.
Your personal bike. The rental companies don't want you taking their bikes on the beach because of the sand. But
Salt.
if you have your own bike, you can ride it on the beach. But yeah, we have fat tire bikes, and they're great for riding on the beach. Great way of getting exercise. You kind of have to stay right where the water,
Where the hard pack
the
sand
hard
is.
pack sand is close to the water. So you do need to spray them down after you finish, because there'll be a big pile of rust otherwise.
Right. Exactly.
But you can go forever, all the way up the beaches, all the way around the island.
Yeah,
If
actually,
you have a fat tire beach.
I rode, I think, almost all the way to. Well, I did ride from the lighthouse all the way to Captiva over a couple of days. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
on the
so,
fat tire bike.
yeah,
Those are fun.
yeah, they're good fun. Good fun. Recommend them.
Another question somebody had was prefer sunrise or sunset? Dad, you've been a part of infinite sunrises and sunsets. What's your opinion?
Okay, so do we want the off the record version or the?
Give us off the record.
Okay, so sunrise and sunset. Sunrise is definitely a lighthouse. If you want to go see the sunrise, you want to go to the lighthouse or the causeway to see the sunrise. It comes up over Fort Myers Beach. The only problem with it is the time of day. It's way too early. But
Agreed.
if you can bring yourself to get up that early and actually go, it's worth the trip. It's
Once you actually get up, then you're like, why I should do this more often.
and maybe that's the reason why we haven't done so much shelling, because all the shellers get up that time of the day. You can literally be on the beach and it's dark and there's people out there shelling before the sun comes up. And then obviously sunset, much more civilized time of day, and this time of year is
About 8 o'clock.
yeah, it's pretty late now. It gets a little bit later.
It's amazing how different the time swings. Like in the winter, it's 5:30, I think,
Mhm.
the sun sets.
Yeah.
And now this time of year, it's 8 o'clock.
Yeah,
It'll
but
go.
people, I mean, we're closer to the equator. I mean, everybody else in the world that's further away. I mean, in England, obviously, it's much greater
Either
swing
swing,
from
right.
times. But yeah, no, the sunset and sunrise, and people often think that you need to see the ball of the sun to take great pictures, but you really don't. So I mean, even if you were at the lighthouse at sunset, you can still get some amazing pictures. It's the light, soft glow that you want for great pictures.
Right.
It's not necessarily the ball of sun going over the horizon.
But the nice thing about the causeway, too, is you can see both.
You can see
sunrise and sunset.
Yeah, from the causeway. Yeah.
So sunrise is it's best to be seen at the lighthouse. you'd say?
Yes, lighthouse or the or on the causeway.
And then where's the best place to see the sunset?
Sunset typically is going to be. It depends on the time of year because you can see it at Sanibel during closer to the winter months, but then as the year goes round, it goes further and further west. So basically, the sun doesn't, but basically you have to go around the island further. So really, Captiva is the best place to see the sunset year round. Is going to be Captiva just because of its.
Which then there is one public beach on Captiva. It's called Allison Hagerup Beach Park. It's all the way. It's right before you get into South Seas. Mm-hmm. So there's a public park or parking there that you can park, and that's probably the optimal place to see the sunset.
Except it's kind of the parking is kind of pricey there,
right?
And it's a small parking lot, but
right.
You can go. You can also go.
I think right now it's like $40 for the day to park.
Jeez,
it's pretty expensive. But you can also go to Blind Pass and Turner Beach, but parking's really limited there.
Right.
But you can
a lot of people will go to the Mucky Duck and actually go for dinner, and then you can see the sunset there. So that's another thing to do is eat dinner, which is a great place to go.
Well, and if you're lucky enough to be staying on South Seas Island Resort, you can see the sunset year round anywhere on the resort. So it's probably the best resort for sunsets anywhere. They actually have a tiki bar that's not open to the public, but within the resort that actually is every night they blow the conch and they have music there, and they blow the conch every time the sun goes down. So it's a really cool spot, great atmosphere.
Yeah.
And then the other place, probably the easiest place to go would be Bowman's Beach, just because it's a big parking lot. It is a hike to the beach. It is a little bit of a walk, but you can see the sunset.
Yeah, it's about a quarter-mile walk from the parking lot to the actual beach. Yeah. But the walk is cool, though. It's
got boardwalks and everything. So if you were in a wheelchair or something, I think you could get down there.
Right. Go over across the bayous and things, so you can see. You maybe see manatees and things back in there.
Yeah.
But for me personally, I would say sunset.
Sunset all day.
Definitely sunset.
All day.
Me too.
You too, Max.
Yeah, we got up at 7 a.m. this morning. I think that was early enough for me.
Yeah. That wasn't even sun. The sun had already risen by then.
I couldn't move. Speaking of $40 parking, somebody asked some cheap things to do on Sanibel, so I thought, what are 3 things you can do on Sanibel for free? Not cross the bridge. Well, not cross the bridge, obviously.
No, you have to get to the island first.
To get to the island first.
Right. Then who's going first?
Well, I think I could come up with more than 3. There's a huge...
You're allowed to do 3.
You're allowed to do more than 3. People want to know.
There's a huge modern kids playground that's in the shade. On Periwinkle.
That was on my list. At the Sanibel Community Center, they have a...
You had a list?
I have a list. Of course I have
She prepared.
I didn't.
Nerd.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so there's a great big toddler's playground there, which is really nice.
It's shaded. It has water. It has bathrooms. And there's...
I go every day on my lunch break.
Right.
Yeah.
There's actual shuffleboard courts if you happen to have your own shuffleboard. They don't have shuffleboard equipment, but I think you can bring your own. If you happen to have your own shuffleboard equipment, you could bring it and play. And then out the back of there, which a lot of people don't even know, is some trails too. That's a trailhead right there, so you can actually go walk back into the interior of Sanibel.
Okay, there's one. Cool. So what's yours, Laurie?
All right, I did have that one, and of course, my favorite, the library.
Ooh. Oh, yippee!
Yes.
Yeah,
love the Sanibel Library. It's amazing.
I mean, they've got everything, don't they?
Yes.
90% of our videos are coming from the library. Like a lot of the information coming from books in the library and stuff like that. Library. So much information.
Right. Even just the foyer when you walk in, there's cases with shells, and I think they change stuff out all the time. So I think each time you go, it's cool. And don't forget, you don't have to be a resident to have a library card. It's only $10. You can get a library card for the year.
No disrespect to Laurie, but I think I can come up with something a little bit more exciting than the library. I don't know. I think shelling is obviously one of the most popular things to do free on the island.
And I think another thing is cool is to either go to the fishing pier or to Blind Pass and watch the fishermen, see what they bring up. That's always neat to go see what everybody catches.
Now, it's not free, only if you can walk there or ride your bike there, because otherwise you've got to pay to park.
Okay.
That's true.
All right.
Not
if
free.
You ride your bike or walk.
Yeah.
But once you get there, it's to
So
stand
on
on a fishing
that note,
pier.
can we include fishing? Because fishing. You
Fishing.
probably
Well, no,
need.
I didn't include fishing because of that. I'm saying watch people
Oh.
fish and
watch
always
people fish.
watch people fish. I
Oh,
think
because
it's
you need a fishing license, so that wouldn't be free.
right, and you need bait and a rod. But watching people fish is cool because you can
They
see
do
what
bring some cool stuff up on
Right,
Blind
and they're
Pass and
always-
stuff like
they
that.
right, and they're always happy to talk about
What
have a
they've got.
chat about what
Mhm.
they've caught. So
Yeah, I guess. And then you've got bird watching, I guess, if you're into that type of thing.
right,
Is Ding Darling free to enter?
No,
no,
Ding Darling's
you-
not free.
no, but there's plenty of places where you can see nests. I mean, even if you just go down to
Everywhere.
the fishing pier, there's osprey nests down there and a ton of different birds
Yeah.
everywhere you go. You know.
What else did you have on your list, Max?
Oh, I didn't make a list. I would say just walking Periwinkle. Like obviously you can see the main stuff is all in Periwinkle. Just if you can resist spending money, but just seeing all the buildings and the
Right.
businesses and the little shops and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's all happening on Periwinkle.
Yeah, it's
Always a
just
good
cool
thing
to
to
get
do.
out of your car and actually walk because everybody thinks it's a bike path, but it's actually called a shared use path, which runs the length of Periwinkle, so you can walk.
We
If
saw
you
some
want to
like a
ride a
story.
bike, yeah,
You can ride an electric bike as long as it's under a certain size, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
Jerry's, seeing the birds.
that's a good one.
Oh, that's
Good
a good one. Yeah,
Talking to the
Jerry's.
birds. The kids love the birds at Jerry's.
Jerry's is the local supermarket. In case you want, there's one of two main supermarkets,
Right,
and, they'll-
Bailey's is the other one.
and then all in the grounds there they have parrots and parakeets and different.
Yeah, it's even fun to go watch the people watch the birds. We go there for lunch to Jerry's.
People find it so novel.
And just watching the people talk to the birds is
So trying
just
to get them to talk.
try to get them to talk is even as more fun sometimes than watching the birds themselves because
You wonder what the birds are thinking. Looking at
Right.
these crazy fools.
well, actually the other day we saw somebody playing a flute or a harmonica
Yeah.
to the bird
At the bird?
at the bird
At the bird, as though the bird was enjoying it.
right he had a
Oh,
little concert
sure.
for the bird.
That's horrible.
No, it was awesome.
All right, let's move on. We've got some Sanibel trivia I wrote up. So I'm going to ask you guys some questions and see if you guys know the answer.
Oh,
I think Mom may know the answers better than Dad, unfortunately. So first question people might be interested to know is how Sanibel got its name. Do you guys know?
I do not.
Do you, Mom?
well,
She looked it
I
up.
think
It may not be true.
the-
It is an urban legend. Or
what
it's a
Sanibel?
legend. Yeah.
Right. Well, several stories, I think. So, possibly from the Queen of Spain, Saint Isabel, I think is one story, and then that kind of got shortened into Sanibel, I think, and then also
A definitive answer, Laurie. I mean, you're
no,
saying
I don't
this
think
thing-
there is a definitive answer.
Oh, okay. It's
That's
not
what I
actually Sanibel, was it? If you ask
Oh,
Richard
that's
Bailey,
right.
they say it's Sanibel.
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 It's actually
It used
pronounced
to be spelt with a Y.
Yeah, so that apparently is because the Ponce de Leon, who was thought to discover Sanibel, named it after the Queen Isabella. He named it Santa Isabella, and then the name was literally shortened to San Ibel on maps, and then eventually became Sanibel.
Sanibel.
And you still have that in Pointy Bell on Sanibel. Is
Right,
that what it's
but-
called? Yeah.
Point Ebel
And Casabel.
Right. And Point Ebel is where the land where the lighthouse is located is called Point Ebel.
Yep, and that's all shortened apparently from Queen Isabella.
Right. Which I've heard other stories too that there was a Spanish word for flat land or something. Did you see that?
I did not see that.
Yeah. So I guess no one really knows for sure where it came from, but I like the Queen story.
Yeah, and then we have how Captiva got its name. Dad?
Captiva. Do you want me to make something up? Or?
Yes, please.
No, I have no idea. No idea.
This is
Fill me
another
in.
legend.
Right,
Another
an
legend.
urban myth.
So Jose Gaspar, a pirate, was said to
Captured.
have captured
Women.
women to keep for ransom important women to important people,
Right.
trying to get money from them, named Isle de las Captivas, which is Spanish for the island of captives. I'm sure. And that's where Captiva came from, Captivas.
Yeah. I've heard that too.
I have heard that. Actually.
Rumor has it he also has
Rumor.
buried some of his treasure on Sanibel.
I know. On Captiva.
Sanibel and Captiva,
right.
both.
So we need to start digging.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, start digging.
No, don't do it.
Don't do that.
No, don't do that. And if you do dig, fill the holes back in. That's a huge problem.
Yes.
Actually, it is really, because right now it's turtle nesting season. It just started the 1st of May. And obviously, kids love to dig holes on the beach, but just make sure they fill them back in because the little turtles actually will fall and get stranded in the holes. And it's super dark on the beach at night, too. So if you happen to be walking and fall in a hole, you might injure yourself.
Not good.
Yeah.
Another question. So there were actually 2 movies filmed on the island. Do you guys know what they are? One of them was completely filmed here, I believe, and one was partially filmed here.
I think there was
Partially
one
filmed in
with
Fort Myers.
I think there was one with Reese Witherspoon.
Wasn't there one
Is
with
that
Tom
right?
Hanks?
No, that's
Reese Witherspoon? I don't have one with Reese Witherspoon.
Really?
You could be right.
I
But-
think there is. And then, Night of the Living Dead, that was filmed in Fort Myers, right? So it's not that. Or
It
is
is
it that?
Day of the Dead.
Oh, Day of the Dead.
Day of the
So
Dead,
one
which
of
is
the
a zombie movie from the 1980s, was shot here, apparently, and in Fort Myers, because there's a scene in downtown Fort Myers where you can
Right.
see the courtroom and everything. That was in 1984.
Okay.
He had a second home here, so he...
Oh, who,
He
the
shot-
director? Or
Yeah, the
Or one
director,
of the
George A.
zombies.
Romero. One of the zombies actually had a vacation home here.
Right.
And then...
I hope he wore sunscreen.
Yes. And then Night Moves was filmed here, a movie from 1975.
And
directed
Gene
by Arthur
Hackman?
Penn. Gene Hackman, yep.
Okay.
Jennifer Warren and Susan Clark. I don't know any of these people, but somebody might.
I'm pretty sure there was one other one with Reese Witherspoon. Look that up, Max.
All right, let me take a look.
All right.
Movie shot on Sanibel. I'm not seeing anything.
Really?
It's actually showing me the Island Theater,
Oh.
which
Which there's a movie theater. I'm not sure if it's open right now or it's right by Bailey's.
Yeah.
oh, there's quite a few TV movies and stuff, but full-length movies. Reading Rainbow, Real Food, Real Kitchens. There was an episode shot here.
Cool.
That's funny. Okay.
All right,
and
next one.
Can you guys guess the length? Actually, you guys have pieces of paper. I want you to guess the length and width of Sanibel Island in miles.
Are we going as the crow flies?
Yes.
And we're not including Captiva, just Sanibel.
Just Sanibel.
I'm
Don't show your
writing
answers.
my answer. Don't look, because I know you cheat.
And then the width,
Length and width.
length.
At width at its widest point.
Are we talking just the land, or are we
Land.
squaring it off from top to bottom as it fit in a box? Or are we just
No,
going the width?
it is the
answer.
length at its
Come on.
longest point and the width at its longest point.
Okay, I got it.
Not a box.
All right, don't go to this camera here, and I'll show you what I've got.
All right.
Don't. There we go.
Just show you.
No, it's the
here
wrong
we go,
one.
here we go.
There we go. Can you see that?
10.1 by 1.5. Mom, you have 12 by 4. That oddly specific. Mom's right.
Thank you.
It's 12 by 3. 12 by 3,
I was going to say 3.
which I found out is
I
exactly the
was gonna
same
say
size
3 as well, Laurie.
as a really big city in New York.
That's right.
It is
Manhattan.
Sanibel Island is the same size as Manhattan, which is crazy.
That is crazy to think about.
To
I wonder
think-
what the population of Manhattan and Sanibel.
Sanibel has a population of like 6,000.
6,000.
That was going to be one of my questions, and it goes in season up to like 25,000.
Right. But what's the population of Manhattan?
Population of Manhattan, that is
Quick Max.
typing class.
Fast fingers.
Population of Manhattan is 1.632 million.
Wow. And we have 6,000-ish
Yeah,
residents.
ish.
Yeah.
That's insane.
That's crazy.
All right,
Cool.
let's see. So our last segment, we've got name that Sanibel resident or Sanibel icon,
Okay.
I should say.
Okay.
Let me put it on full screen. And
Is
we
it
get
first as
started.
fastest? Do we have a buzzer?
I'm gonna let you write down the answers, and we'll see if you guys get it right. There's
I
only.
think we need a buzzer.
You think you need a buzzer? You want a buzzer?
I want a buzzer.
All right, you get a buzzer.
First one to tap then.
All right, first one to tap.
I have a. Should I get my
Put the
bell?
book. Put the book in the
I need
middle.
the bell.
No, put the book in the middle. Whoever
Where
taps.
is your bell?
Put the book in the middle.
Hold on, she's got to get.
She's getting the bell.
These bells are highly sought after.
Yep. We're lucky we even have one.
Not annoying at all.
Not at all.
No.
Does it work?
Okay.
Sanibel, please.
Okay, so I'll hold the bell. Okay, here we go. Ready?
All right. Can you guys
No.
see the screen? Put it in the middle, Dad.
I got it.
Is that the middle?
Yep.
All right. I'm going to show the screen, and you guys are going to have to guess who it is.
All right, got it.
You ready?
Yep.
Sure?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
Those are the Bailey boys.
Those are the Bailey boys. Those are the sons of Frank Bailey, who started Bailey's. Two of them
It
went
went
on
away.
to. Okay. Here, sorry. Two of them went on to run the Baileys, right? One
Right.
of them did not.
Sam and Francis.
Sam and Francis. And then there's one more. Do you know what the other one ended up doing?
I don't know what he did. No,
He-
I'm not sure.
So let me go back. I gotta hide the screen real quick because we got another one. Yeah, so that was in like the 40s on their farm. So they had a farm before that was just a.
Bailey's
What-
is the general store on the island.
And
It's
you
been here
can-
for-
You can visit their homestead on Periwinkle. It's another cool thing to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
I'm ready.
So 1 point, Mom. Yeah. Are you ready?
Yeah.
You
We're
seem
ready.
really focused. All right, here we go. Go. Are you sure you know it?
No, I wanted to say that was Willard Scott.
That is Willard Scott.
Am I right?
Yeah, that's Willard
Yes.
Scott.
Really?
Yep. That's him in like his high school. I think he went to George Washington High School. I can't remember where it was.
And do you know who Willard Scott is, Nick?
I only did when I came to saw him in the 4th of July parade about 20 years ago. And he
Okay.
was the news anchor on
NBC?
The Today Show. He
not
was-
the
Today
news
Show.
the weather guy. on
Yeah,
the
he's
He's
the
a
weather
weather
guy.
guy
Yeah.
Right.
on NBC, right?
Right, and but
And he does
actually had
the
And long time homeowner
Homeowner.
here.
yeah.
That's right.
I only
Wow.
remember him from Smucker's. He would do
Right.
the old people on Today's Show.
Right.
Yeah.
What was that
The
segment? I don't
100,
even-
100.
Who turned 100.
Yeah, he would just highlight old people.
Right.
That's all I know him from.
Yeah.
But he's apparently been around for a while.
I can't believe I got that.
Oh, you're so proud, aren't you?
Oh,
All right.
special moment.
All right. Last one. This one I think you guys will get fast, so get ready.
I think it's
This one will be
one
much
of the
easier.
Jensen brothers.
I don't think I would know who it is, but I know you guys will.
Yep.
Well, yep, one of the Jensen brothers.
Dave Jensen.
Dave Jensen.
No, it's not.
No.
Oh,
Randy
let me see. It's
Wainwright.
Randy
Oh my
Wainwright.
god.
Wait.
Oh man.
You just
Put that. I
Are you
really-
serious?
Oh yeah. Oh come on now.
You just
Which
assumed it was the Jensens, and then I showed it.
right.
No,
Which
I
we had
actually-
to talk about the Jensens because Dave Jensen just passed away. So he did kind of similar hairstyle
Mhm.
to
Yeah.
Randy Wayne White. But yeah, Dave Jensen recently passed away. He owned Jensen's and he was
One of the
everybody-
brothers that owned it. Yeah.
Right.
But Randy was a local fishing guy, big time New York bestseller author,
Wrote all the Doc Ford's books.
and has restaurants.
My favorite restaurant,
yeah,
Doc Ford's.
Doc Ford's. on
Right. There's
Sanibel
one on
Captiva,
Sanibel, one on Captiva,
one St. Petersburg in Florida.
one on Fort Myers Beach.
Fort Myers
Fort Myers
Beach.
Beach, great restaurant, great,
Awesome.
great restaurant.
A lot of-
Yucatan shrimp, got to go. So we have this thing every year for our kids. We've got 3 kids, and they can all pick on their birthday where they want to go and eat. And Max's is always
Doc Ford's.
Dog Ford's.
Always
And what
Doc
is your
Ford's.
favorite?
Lime pickle
dish?
crusted fish sandwich.
The
The
lime-
Doc Ford's lime pickle crusted fish sandwich.
He always has the same thing. Always, has
Always,
the
it's
same.
amazing.
And he always has to say the whole
The whole
item.
name, which is like 20 words long.
Yeah,
And then we always get extra bread for the Yucatan shrimp, and then we all end up fighting over the bread
yeah.
for the Yucatan shrimp.
It's not very predictable at all.
No,
No.
it's the same thing every time. Somebody fights over the bread, and it gets real bad.
It's a good problem to have. Check it out if you come down here. It's absolutely phenomenal restaurant.
Yeah, and then all of his books are set in Sanibel or around the area, right? So they're all pretty interesting to read.
Yeah,
seeing different little
'cause he
spots
was
that are real spots
right, he
in
was
fictional books.
Right. He was a fishing guide at Tarpon Bay for years and years, so he has local knowledge. So he uses that knowledge to actually craft these books.
Before it was even Tarpon Bay, it was open. It was home to a few fishing guides. There was actually a marina back in there.
Right.
Before they imposed a speed limit and no power boats and all that sort of thing. So he was, it goes way back, and has written some superb books. Yeah,
He certainly has.
All right. I think that's what we've got for the itinerary. So that's it.
Fantastic. Well, thanks for joining us on this episode number 3.
Right.
Please do spread the word, and if you know anybody that might enjoy it, get them to come and check out the podcast. And we're going to be looking for guests. Let us know in the comments below if there's anything that you'd like to see on here. If there's any subjects you would like us to cover, be happy to do it. And please feel free to drop us some questions either in the YouTube or the Facebook, or even on the blog. And most importantly, make sure you like and subscribe the channel, and also subscribe to the blog where you'll be updated if we have any new releases.
Which is the sandcapguide.com.
The sandcapguide.com, and the YouTube channel is the Sanibel
Captiva Guide.
Okay, just wanted to give a quick shout out to our sponsors, GatorBites Tail and Ale, Breakaway Vacations, and Spoondrift Island Bowls. Without them, it wouldn't be possible to bring you this content. We are looking for supporters and sponsors to help the channel grow. So if you'd like to get involved, please do email us at thesandcapguide.com, or you can just reach out on any of the media channels. We'd love to hear from you. There's all sorts of sponsorship opportunities, and we'd appreciate anything you can do for us. So thanks very much. Have a great day, and we'll see you on the next one.